The Woodside protest drama rolls on.
Roger Cook is doing his best impression of someone who's outraged by the protesters who targeted the home of Woodside boss Meg O'Neill. He's huffing and puffing and acting all hippie-bashing Charlie Court.
You don't buy it.
No. 30 years ago, Roger would have been out there with them. So would half his government.
Simply will not tolerate it, Perry! And neither will my boys!
I will give Dave Kelly $1,000 if he can say Disrupt Burrup Hub was out of order without sniggering.
Game on.
The ALP's biggest financial backer, United Workers Union, of which the 31st Premier of Western Australia is a member, used to compile dirt sheets on the directors of companies they were trying to get pay rises out of. Kelly was the boss of the union at the time, it was the Missos back then. Reps were targeting the ex-wives of board members, working out if directors were alcoholics or having affairs.
Kate Cheney reckons the O'Neill protest was out of order, and she's a teal.
Yes, Kate's probably worried that those protesters will realise her father was the immediate past chairman of Woodside.
If you'll excuse me, I'm going to step over there so that we can present a united front against you.
Nobody wants the family dinner disrupted by Greta Thunberg giving you stink eye through the dining room's bay window.
How dare you!
It's enough to put you off your Hastesbury Chardonnay. That was supplied by the family who bankrolled your election campaign. A family which owns a beef cattle herd that produces more greenhouse gas than most moderate-sized commercial airlines.
Move along.
If Kevin Rudd was right and climate change is the great moral imperative of our time, then is it really dirty pull to take the fight to the home of a CEO whose company will facilitate 4, 5, 6 billion tonnes of carbon emissions at the Burrup Hub?
Mate, this is just impossible.
Most West Aussies think it is.
Most West Aussies would probably bring back Charlie Court's Section 54B laws, ban all public gatherings and basically make all forms of protest illegal. We're a conservative town that's a wholly owned subsidiary of the resources companies that Disrupt Burrup Hub is targeting. Protesters like the 4 who went to Meg's home in City Beach on Tuesday know that you can have all the police escorted street marches you want. The only way you shift the dial is by making people squirm. And that's Jesse Noakes' MO. Find a bandwagon and this guy will hitch himself to it.
I'm a level 5 vegan. I won't eat anything that casts a shadow.
He kept homelessness on the agenda for month after month. You know the tent cities that we saw in East Perth and Fremantle back in the day. Who do you think gave them the tents? Jesse Noakes.
Are you?
Oh, I'm not defending him. If he ever protests outside my house, I would want the police to shoot him immediately.
Get off my lawn.
Tent City was a complete disaster. It was wrong. What he and the other 3 did with Meg O'Neill was wrong. I'm just making the observation that most contemporary environmental and social policies that are now accepted as common sense by mainstream Australia, bans on old growth logging and uranium mining, legalised homosexuality, women's suffrage, were all considered originally radical left-wing agendas being pursued by dangerous minds.
How'd you ever come up with something like that?
We'd probably still have whaling down at Albany if Greenpeace hadn't put the mouthguard in and got serious with the protesting. I'm Ben Harvey. For more Up Late, click the subscribe button below.